My name is Elizabeth Njoroge, and I present a program on Capital FM 98.4, a classical music program called Smooth Classics. Capital FM is one of the young, vibrant radio stations here. It's privately owned. One of the most exciting things about Capital is the variety that it has. A lot of the radio stations go for just popular music, but Capital has been brave enough to take in all the genres, the most recent one being classical music. They're the only big commercial radio station that has a classical music show, but they also have a jazz show. So that's one of the most exciting things about it. It talks to young Kenyans who are also interested in expanding their knowledge and expanding their horizons. Actually, it's very interesting how I came to have this classical music show. I knew from the bottom of my heart that there were classical music lovers out there who were desperate to have something to listen to. And so with a lot of begging, I finally got this show, and everybody thought it wouldn't work. But over the years, the listenership has really grown. Obviously, I started off with those who already knew classical music, but then a lot of the young kids who would turn on the radio and find it by accident learnt about the show. And so from SMSs to telephone calls to emails, I also have a Facebook group that I run that's linked to the show. It's called Crazy About Classics, and it's heaving. People leave their requests there. They ask. I put down the playlist of the show every evening onto that Facebook group, and so people ask me questions about music they may never have heard before. Who is that? What does it mean? So we have a very lovely communication going on. I know a lot of people who talk to me by name. I've never met them, but we have a great relationship, and it's wonderful. It is definitely two-way. Like I said, I get a lot of SMSs, but particularly that Facebook group, and that is the group I really like to talk to, the young Kenyans who are very new to this genre, who are just trying to understand it. And I try and break things down and make it simple. They ask me what's a concerto, and so I tell them what a concerto is. Why is it difficult to sing this, but it's easy to. So we have this conversation going. The most exciting are the kids from the slums, from Dandora, from Kayole, from Githurai, who come, and at the end of the show, whichever concert it is, they're there waiting to say hi and give a shout out to me, that sort of a thing. Yeah. One of the big challenges, though, is that it is very commercially driven. The biggest radio stations are the ones that are privately owned, and for them the bottom line is money, and so they will put their programming towards where they believe the money is, where they think the advertisers will put the money in. And some of the challenges are trying to get them to have the responsibility of teaching, of widening people's horizons, as opposed to just giving them what they want, which is the MTV generation. So that is one of the challenges, getting them to know, push your audience a little bit, even if it's not going to bring you a lot of money. Push them. They want to learn more, they want to know more, they're not stupid. But one of the exciting things, I really believe, even though I'm talking about a classical music show, is the increased amount of local content. If you had listened to radio 10 years ago, it was 90% foreign content. But now the most successful radio stations, and the same with TV, are those who have played local musicians, who have produced shows that are done locally with local actors. And that is actually very exciting, and it's very good because it gives employment and encouragement to local artists. That's very exciting. Another exciting development is the development of radio stations in small areas like in Kibera, for instance, that talk about what is happening locally. It's not about the politicians and what the president said. It's about what are our local challenges. And that is very exciting, very powerful. And in fact, one of the biggest radio stations at the moment, that has over 14 stations in very many different vernaculars, talks about the local issues of that local community. And that is surprisingly is a very big change. And at first was looked down upon, but now everybody is trying to do the same. Let's talk about the local community in Pokot. What are their issues? What do they want to hear about?